Hi there, my name is Alan Lamont. This video is about the true history of the Illuminati. Now, before I begin this, I must explain that in 1773 Pope Clement abolished the Jesuits forever. And so that is why in 1776 they raised up Adam Weishaupt to create the Illuminati. Now let's go into the history of the Illuminati itself. When you trace the origin of this organization, it ultimately is traced to the leader of this group, which was a man named Dr. Adam Weishaupt, who was born on February the 6th, 1748. It's said that he was the son of a Jewish rabbi. When his father died in 1753, he was converted to Catholicism by Baron Johann Adam Eichstadt, who turned the early training of the boy over to the Jesuits. Eichstadt in 1742 had been appointed by the Jesuits to be the curator of the university in order to reorganize the university, and he also retired in 1765, but still obviously controlled its policies. Why did the Jesuits train Adam Weishaupt? That's a very important question. He was a Jesuit priest. And that is overlooked a lot by people who talk about the Illuminati, in the sense that they only bring forth the revelation that it's a Masonic structure. So they imply that Masonry controls the Illuminati, or even Adam Weishaupt, because he was a Jew, Zionism, the elders of Zion, they control the Illuminati, and so on. So you have Masonry diversion, and you have, Jewish diversion. But the fact is, the Rothschilds were there at the very beginning, funding this, obviously, but their wealth was the wealth of the Jesuit order. So you do have Jews around this group. We also have Masonry, because Adam Weishaupt infiltrated Masonry. But Adam Weishaupt was a priest. Got to ask yourself, why did a Jesuit priest create the Illuminati? It's believed, and it's said by a lot of agents on the internet, disinformation agents, that Adam Weishaupt developed a distinct hatred for the Jesuits. That's complete deception. If you're a high Jesuit, you can't go against the order. You can't do that, because also it's said also by a lot of agents online that, Adam Weishaupt was an atheist, and he was given access to the private library of Eichstadt, and his godfather, the young man, became interested in the works of the French philosophers and studied law, economics, politics, history. He's a very intelligent man, Adam Weishaupt, very knowledgeable, because he was trained by the Jesuits, of course. And also, he studied Voltaire in 1694 to 1778. A revolutionary who held liberal religious views had written in a letter to King Frederick II, the Great, who was a Mason, King Frederick, quote, "Lastly, when the whole body of the church should be sufficiently weakened and infidelities strong enough, the final blow is to be dealt by the sword of open, relentless persecution. A reign of terror is to be spread over the whole earth, and continue while a Christian should be found obstinate enough to adhere to Christianity." It is also believed that Weishaupt got his ideas concerning the destruction of the church from Voltaire's writings. And also he studied in France, where he met Robespierre, who later led the French Revolution, another high Mason. It was the Jesuits who were pulling the strings. It was the Jesuits who were controlling the French Revolution through Napoleon Bonaparte, of course. But we also see this conspiracy to destroy the church. That's what the Illuminati was. It wasn't a counter-reformation against Protestantism primarily, even though that's one of the agendas of the Society of Jesus. The Illuminati was created to infiltrate politics, but also then eventually bring down the power of the Vatican for their suppression, of course. And so let's move on further. He also graduated, as Adam Weishaupt, he graduated from the Bavarian University in Ingolstadt as a Jesuit. priest and lecturer. This was in 1768, and he served 4 years as a tutor until he was promoted to assistant instructor in 1770. This man was a Jesuit instructor teaching canon law. He was chosen by, it said, Mayor Amschel Rothschild to develop an organization. That's a lie. Whenever you hear about the Illuminati and the Jesuit connection, what you will hear on the internet by the agents of Rome, and it's all over the internet, is that really Adam Weishaupt was a Jew and he was under the power of the Rothschilds, and the Rothschilds merely, used him really as a front for the Illuminati. That's not the truth. Mayor Amschel Rothschild was under the power of the Black Pope. They're bankers for the Jesuit order. They wash money, they launder money, as I've said before in other videos. They're war bankers. They just move money around. All these stock markets, for these papal bloodlines and for the Jesuits of Rome. Okay, in 1772, Weishaupt was made professor of civil law also. And in 1773, he was made professor of canon law. You see, all the time he's supposed to be in league with the Rothschild. He's supposed to hate the Jesuits, and here he is, a professor of canon law, a post which had been held by the Jesuits for 90 years. This man was a high Jesuit. Of course, the Jesuits founded all of these universities and kept very strict control of them. There was no way a high professor of civil and canon law would teach at a Jesuit university of Ingolstadt unless he was under the power of the Black Pope completely. And in 1773, Weishaupt got married against the wishes of Eichstadt, who denounced him. And 2 years later, at the age of 27, he was made Dean of the Faculty of Law. It's believed by a lot of the agents in Rome, that are obviously, bringing their diversion all across the internet, because they're all agents of Rome. They say that the Jesuits were really worried about his quick progression and his apostasy from Catholicism, and tried to thwart his influence by secretly plotting against him and his liberal thinking. But you see, the Vatican wanted this to be a secular, liberal organisation, primarily infiltrating Freemasonry and then all governments. It could not be a Catholic organisation. Ultimately, they wanted to use the Illuminati as a Masonic front, to infiltrate and establish the one world government, and then ultimately destroy the Vatican. So the Jesuits were not trying to destroy Adam Weishaupt. You must remember, as I began in the video, that they were suppressed by the Vatican itself, by Pope Clement. They were abolished as an order in 1773. That's why in 1776 they created this order. That's obvious, obvious to anyone that can understand true history. And but Adam Weishaupt really incorporated, Masonry, and tried to infiltrate, the Protestant Masonic movement also. And really, it was a structure that was governed by the Superior General. But it is a Masonic organisation. That's what the Illuminati is. Let me explain really what that is, to be specific. The Illuminati is a Masonic organisation that covers the entire earth, incorporating many Vatican knighthoods, and really it's through the Illuminati that they make all of these politicians Illuminized. They come under the power of Masonry. And so Adam Weishaupt spent 5 years working out a plan through which all of his ideas could be reduced to a single system. And that system was to fight against the oppression of religion, thereby loosening social ties. He wanted to replace Christianity with a religion of reason, and an initial idea was to form an organisation comprised of schools of wisdom, whose goal was to make the human race, one race. They were to strive for the perfection of morals, and on and on and on. I'm not going to waste your time with, his organisation, but it's modelled after the Jesuits. They have superiors, they have generals. It's just another arm of the Luciferian Society of Jesus. So on May the 1st, 1776, under the direction of the newly formed House of Rothschild, who was under orders from the Black Pope, and you have many other bankers, you know, who were connected with the Rothschilds, and they instigated the American Revolution to weaken also Great Britain and to weaken America. Now understand that the Jesuits were working through King George, they were working through the crown of Great Britain, and they were also, you know, manipulating, you know, the Civil War, really. And Adam Weishaupt went into America, obviously, to infiltrate and create his order of the Illuminati to govern America, which it still does today through the CFR, of course. That's the highest, you know, organization under the power of the provincials, the 10 provincials that govern the United States, that govern their provinces. And the Illuminati are really called holders of light, the illuminated ones. And it really just means to be illuminated or to be given light, and refers to someone who has been enlightened. But we know that Satan is an angel of light. It's really Lucifer, the bearer of light, who has brought them their illumination. That really means that at the highest levels they are the Luciferians, the Satanists. It's that simple, really, you know, that simple. They're Satanists, which explains exactly why they can do what they do, why they have no conscience. But let me explain something. Within the Illuminati structure, you have various degrees. You also have the fourth degree, just exactly like the Jesuit order, fourth degree oath of induction. But in this Illuminati oath, within the Illuminati corporation, you have what's called the fourth degree of the enlightened ones, and they then go through another final degree until they achieve perfection. That really means they can be trusted. That really means they've been trained completely by the Jesuits. And the Illuminati is worldwide. That's right, it's worldwide. At the head of every government is an Illuminati agent. They could be Muslim, they could be in Russia, they could be in the United Nations, they could be within the walls of the Vatican, they could be in Washington, they could be in Westminster, in Great Britain. But they're Masons and they're Vatican Knights. It's just another arm of the Jesuit order, just another front organization, because they were suppressed in the 1700s by the Vatican itself. So you have all of these, you know, different offshoots and different branches. All of these different organizations are really created by the Alumbrados of Spain, who were the Knight Templars again. The Alumbrados was just another front name for the Templars. You know, this is what the Jesuits do through history. Let me explain clearly. The Templars, you know, became the Alumbrados. In Spanish it means the enlightened ones or the illuminated ones, and this is what Ignatius Loyola was. He was a Knight Templar Alumbrado. You know, at that time the Alumbrados was made up of a reformed Franciscan movement and also connected with the Jesuits. But yeah, I'm just bringing revelation to people about the Illuminati, really, you know. And Ignatius Loyola was actually put in jail for being a member of the Alumbrados, and this condemnation forced them to flee to France. The Jesuits were always expelled, they were always abolished, just like the Templars, you know, because they are the same organization. They just create different arms and different branches, and, you know, they just move into different organizations that will never appear in their own name. So what you have is the same organization moving through history. You have the Templars, the Alumbrados, who obviously were connected to the, you know, Merovingian royal bloodlines, and, you know, all these other papal bloodlines of Italy, and they became the Jesuits, and the Jesuits became the Illuminati, and the Illuminati infiltrated Masonry, and so with all of these levels of diversion. That's why they're able to control the world, because you have one group, and they're all, you know, these front organizations. A lot to take in there. But this is the real message about the Illuminati, okay? It's not controlled by the Jews. It's not a Jew world order. It's a Jesuit world order. Okay, my name is Alan Lamont. Thank you for listening, and as always, all roads lead to Rome.